welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I get this go-to sort of brow and foundation look. So it's kind of like my updated brow routine and foundation routine in one, and I wanted to do this video because I feel like it will be really helpful for you guys, or I'm hoping that it's going to be helpful for you guys, and I'm hoping that it's going to be sort of a routine or a video that you can refer to when you are doing different types of eye makeup looks, different types of makeup looks in general. You can come back to this like go-to foundation and brow routine and pretty much be set on the base and then get really creative with the rest of your makeup. So I hope you guys are excited to see. I am going to be going really in depth about my process, my tips and tricks, and just my techniques in general on how to get these brows and also this foundation look. And I am using some of my favorite products, so favorite foundation, favorite concealer, highlighters, all of my like ride or die products that never fail me are gonna be in this video, so I'm very excited for that. So let's, I forgot what I was gonna say, but let's go ahead and get into the video. Don't forget to subscribe before we get in. Give it a thumbs up if you like it already, and let's go. First step is always to brush through your brows with a spoolie. I like to do this because it makes your brows actually look fuller if you are always brushing them up rather than brushing them down like that. And it makes the shape a lot better. So you could see a clear line right here that we're gonna go in and fill in and use kind of like the base of the eye or the eyebrow with our brow product. And for my brow product, I'm using Benefit Ka-Brow, which is a really nice cream brow gel product. I use the shade number 4, and I actually just use the brush that comes inside of the top, but I like it because I can create really natural strokes. So I start off here at the front and just really lightly create a straight line all the way up into the arch of the brow, and I follow that line down the brow. But once I get to this tail, I don't like to stroke it downwards. I like to keep going with the direction of the eyebrow hairs so that it looks as natural as possible. And once you have that preliminary line, you can go back and use super duper light-handed strokes. I pretty much only have pressure here at the bottom, and I kind of flick up the product to give it that almost faded look right here at the front, and this is gonna give you very natural looking brows. It's not gonna look boxy at all. You can build it up and create bold brows, but if you use a light touch, the product applies really light, so it can be pretty versatile depending on the type of look that you're trying to create. But just in general, I really like the formula. So once I'm done with going through the tail of the brow, I'll go back up and create another straight line up here at the top to connect the front furry bits to the arch, and just kind of touch up these little inner parts that may look a little bit sparse. I do like to keep it looking natural, so I keep some spaces between the brow hairs so that it looks like a natural full brow. But if you do want to fill in all those spaces, this is also a good product to do so because it's not going to get like cakey or too crazy looking. And you want to take any concealer that you have on hand that's a little bit lighter than your skin tone so that we highlight under this area but also clean it up. So this is what's going to give it a very precise look and make it look like those perfect sort of Instagram brows. But once you're happy with the shape and everything like that, you can go in and use a brow gel. So this is the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. I just sweep this through the brows. This is a nice clear brow gel. It's very lightweight, and it's never gonna make your brows look cakey or too stiff, like glued down, but it does hold them up and in place all day long. And even at the tail area, continue to brush those brow hairs upwards because, like I was saying before, this just makes your brows look a lot fuller and a lot thicker and better shaped. You can see what I was saying about like the brow hairs. I like it to look like natural strokes, and when we zoom out, you'll see what I'm saying, but that's kind of like the shape that I like to do. Okay, so obviously I skipped through the eyes this time just because I really want to focus only on the brows and the skin, because this is kind of a routine that you could do with any different eye look for any occasion. So that's kind of what I wanted to keep it as. But let me know if you want to see a tutorial on this. I kind of just whipped up like a bronzy eye. But we're going to prime with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil. You guys know I love this stuff. I've gone through 2 full bottles of this. That's when you know. That's when you know you love it. It would be great if you do have dry skin. I actually have oily skin and I still love it, and I just feel like it makes my foundation apply so smooth. It just keeps it hydrated throughout the day. So this is kind of like my go-to foundation routine. That's kind of where I was going with this tutorial idea. If you guys guys have watched my videos for a while, you'll probably know that I like to mix two primers. So I always go in with an oil and then more of like a pore filling primer around the nose area, around the forehead, and around the chinny chin chin. So this primer is the Benefit Cosmetics Professional Pearl. So it's a little different than the Professional Original Primer because this one has a slight radiance to it that just leaves a really beautiful finish on the skin, and it never makes you look dry, although it does definitely smooth out the skin. I really like to press it into the skin around the nose because that's where those pores, they want to live, you know? The next step is obviously foundation. So I like to use the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This is my favorite foundation in the world. I just feel like it's so, you know, I would definitely say it's medium to full coverage and very buildable. You can go in with one layer if you want lighter coverage, or two layers if you do want a fuller coverage, but it never looks cakey. It just looks very natural, very skin-like, very radiant, but not too oily or too glowy. It's just the perfect natural everyday foundation that you can wear glam every day, like I said, and it's the one that I reach for the most. And this foundation looks good with almost any makeup look, which is why I wanted to use it in this tutorial and why it is like my go-to foundation, because it's just the right balance between like a glowy and a matte and a natural foundation. It's like right there in the middle. So you can wear it with any eye look, any occasion, any sort of style that you're going for. And it has a really nice stay time as well. So it'll wear really nicely throughout the day, not get oily, not slip off your face, but also not get dry and too matte. Ugh, there is nothing like a brand new beauty blender. I feel like the first few uses are like the best uses, you know what I mean? Like it honestly like pounces that foundation like no other, like, Okay, so next up, obviously we have to do concealer / under eye area. My go-to is to kind of correct and brighten up the under eyes before going in with concealer with this product right here, which is the Becca Cosmetics Under Eye Brightening Corrector. It is like almost a salmony pink color, but when you apply it, it actually does have almost like a slight radiance to it. So it really reflects light underneath the eyes and helps you get that very flawless finish. And also it will help correct darkness under the eyes as well. I used to apply a ton, like too much, but then I was going through it too quick. So I was like, you know what, I need to take a step back and apply a little bit less. But I actually find that it works pretty similarly if you apply less or more. So there you go. You don't have to apply that much so that you could save product and save a little bit of money and not have to repurchase it as often. After that, you could already tell that there's such a difference in the under eye area, but once we go in with concealer, that is when the true difference happens, and it just like lifts everything up. Especially if you apply it in the right way, it can really help to like shape your face. So I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade medium. I kind of go back and forth between this one and then NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but if I do want a little bit more coverage, then I'll go with the Tarte one. So I like to just do a quick light layer underneath the eyes right where those divots are first, and I go in and actually blend that out, and that almost provides like a base layer for me. And then I'll go in with the real round of concealer. So this is when I apply a lot more concealer. I take it down almost to the corner of the lip, take it out along the cheekbone, and then make a few swipes here. And if you want to clean up your eyeshadow, you can do so like that. And when you take your concealer back here towards the outer part of the eye and towards the temple, that's what's really gonna give you that almost like uplifted shape. And once we pounce it into the skin, it continues to shape your face after you've blended it. So then you want to take it down the middle of the face, onto the forehead, down the middle of the nose, and a little bit whatever's left over right here on the chin and Cupid's bow. You definitely want to press the product into the skin so that it really gets into the pores and starts to create like a very flat, smooth base. If you use rubbing motions, it will actually take off the product, and it will also mess up the foundation that you already have on. So just always remember to use really gentle but pressing motions. If you did clean up that shadow, you want to be very careful to continue to have that line there so that it looks nice and clean. So just kind of press it in carefully on the edges there. And I've been doing this for a while, but I do like to go in with a cream contour using a foundation stick. So this is the Lancome Tawny Doll Ultra Wear foundation stick, and it's in the shade 435 Bisque. So I just take this, and I like this one because it's not too dark, and I take it underneath the cheekbones and do just a light swipe there, and then around the perimeter of the face. Since it's a foundation stick, it blends out so easily and flawlessly so that you can really, really get that flawless looking contour. Like, you just have the most amazing cheekbones in the world. Like, literally with a couple pats, that's how it blends out. I feel like for my go-to makeup, because a lot of times when I'm wearing makeup, I'm wearing it through the entire day and I need it to last all day long. So I do use a lot of cream products and then set them with powder products, just because that's going to make the makeup and the face makeup in general stay on a lot longer throughout the day. But the specific products that I use are actually really good for this type of routine because they never look cakey or crazy. Even though you are layering the products, you're kind of just setting them lightly with powder products. Does that make sense? So for my cream highlighter, well, this is actually a liquid highlighter, I'm using Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop Shimmering Skin Perfector. Wow, it broke! I really threw it that time. It's literally like the most dramatic drop I've ever done. It's all over the floor. But yeah, obviously this is the last time that I'm gonna be able to use this. So this is the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid, like I was saying before. Usually I pump it out onto my hand and then pick up the product with a beauty blender, but obviously because I just broke off the pump, that's not gonna work, so I had to do it a different way. But you just wanna apply it with your beauty blender, pressing that right into the cheekbones, and this gives such a beautiful, like, natural looking glow. And especially if you blend it out really nicely, it can really just make everything that you want to stand up, all the high points of your face stand out. Moving on, last up of the cream and liquid products is a liquid blush. So I've been using this one from NARS. It's actually in the shade Hot Tin Roof. I really want to try the shade Orgasm if they have it. I'm gonna check because I just think it's like my new thing. This one's a bit of a darker shade, although I do really like it. It's just the only one that I have right now, so I've still been using it. But I kind of pat it into my hand to dilute it a little bit. And also, this is the same sponge that I used with foundation, so that also kind of brings it down, you know? But then I just go in and lightly pat it on to the apples of the cheeks and blend it backwards. Alrighty, and then to set everything down, we are going to bake a little bit with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I was using more of a mattifying setting powder for a while actually, but I recently went back to this guy and I've been liking it. I've been liking it a lot. So I take that and I press it underneath the eyes, especially where those little divots are underneath the eyes, because this powder will kind of fill everything in and make everything look a lot smoother. So make sure to bring it up here and take the powder down towards the smile line to lock that into place so that when you're talking throughout the day, it doesn't move around and crease as much. So that's one problem that I used to have a lot, is creasing in the smile lines throughout the day. And I find that when I bake in that area, I don't have that problem at all. I know sometimes, like, some complaints that people have while baking is that it makes your under eyes too dry, and all you have to do if baking does make your under eyes dry is bake for less time. So if you have really dry under eye area, then maybe just leave it on for like under a minute and go ahead and wipe it away, and it should still provide that same sort of little barrier throughout the day so that your makeup holds better. I feel like highlighters, I do kind of switch it up just because there's so many that I love nowadays, but this is one that I gravitate towards a lot, and it's from MAC actually, and it fell out, you guys. Why is today like going like this, you guys? Honestly, today has been such a day. Like, let me just let off some steam here and vent to you guys, because first off, I was supposed to have a shoot, woke up at 5 a.m. Okay, I got back from San Francisco last night very late, didn't go to bed till midnight, woke up at 5 a.m. to get ready for a shoot, had my hairstylist come to my house at 7. We were perfectly on time. Right about when I'm about to leave, my manager calls me and she's like, we gotta cancel the shoot or reschedule it because the sun is not on our side, it's raining, it's gloomy, and it's supposed to be like today's shoot was supposed to be an outdoor shoot, and like I was legit supposed to be in like a bathing suit and everything, you guys. Like it was such a thing. It was gonna be such a thing. But then the sun had a different plan for me today. Lo and behold, I end up coming to the studio to film this tutorial, and now I've broken 3 products. I've broken my entire Becca highlighter, 2 brushes somehow, like they actually fell apart. I've already thrown them away. Lost my beauty blender, and now I broke this highlighter. So I don't know. Today is just not my day, but it's okay. Positive vibes, positive vibes. Anyways, the actual powder didn't break, so that's a good sign. Kind of. But anyways, I'm still gonna try to use this. It's the MAC Oh Darling Extra Dimension Skin Finish Highlighter, and I'm using the Fenty Beauty highlighter brush for this because I've really actually gotten into using this. I didn't know how to use it for a long time, but I went to one of their master classes recently and kind of learned how to use it more. And it's really interesting because it is supposed to kind of hug the cheekbones because of the shape. So you can kind of just glide it along. Do you see how it like kind of uplifts the cheeks even more? So that's like the theme of today's video, I think. That's something that I've been doing a lot with my makeup, and I feel like it shapes my face better when I am conscious of like where I'm putting the products, how I'm using them, how I'm applying them, and everything like that. So Rihanna's makeup artist, she was telling us, her name's Priscilla Ono, she was really good. She was telling everybody that you're supposed to kind of like glide the highlighter brush up towards the temples of the face, and even up here, glide it up like this and almost let the brush do the work for you. And I thought that was really interesting because I'm used to kind of like going in and buffing it out, but this does kind of give you just that kind of like oof sort of thing, you know? And Rihanna's highlight always looks so bomb, so I feel like it's a good tip. And you can even take this down the middle of the nose for like a really diffused nose highlight. This isn't gonna look super contoured and highlighted, but it's just kind of like to add some shine in there. And then I like to take that on a smaller brush and just pop that right into the inner corner as well. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and bronze up the face. And I think I'm gonna try out this. Oh, it matches the background perfectly. I'm gonna try this new one from MAC. This is called Golden Rinse, and it's the Extra Dimension Bronzing Powder. And I like this one because it has almost like a soft, cushiony, silky feel to it. So I thought I would try it out for today. But the normal bronzer that I typically use, I mean, I kind of switch it around, to be honest, for bronzer. So I use Matte Give Me Sun a lot, Too Faced Chocolate Soleil a lot, and NARS Laguna, like anything in that color range. If you have it on hand, you could totally use that, but I just wanted to try this one out for today. We're just kind of going over it really lightly to blend everything in, lock everything in, but you already have your base down, you know? And I really do feel like doing the multiple steps of the cream and then the powder products really, really does help to lock everything into place, and that's why this is kind of like my go-to routine. It doesn't take that much longer to do, you know, a couple extra steps of cream contour, cream highlight, and cream blush, but it really does make a difference in like how long your makeup is gonna stay on your face and how good it's gonna look throughout the day, because even when those powder products start to wear off the face, the liquids and creams are still gonna be there underneath. Oh, and I am nose contouring with Too Faced Chocolate Soleil and a little Dose of Colors brush. Again, nose contour is something that I kind of like switch up all the time, but I always use this brush. So this is a really cool blush. It's from NARS, and it's actually the loose powder version of Orgasm. So it's an illuminating loose powder blush. That was such a tongue twister for me just now. But yeah, it's actually illuminating, so you can see it does have some reflex of gold in there. So it's really, really pretty when you pop some onto the cheeks and blend it backwards. Kind of starts to blend in with your highlight, and that's what I've been loving. This is a great blush for like everyday looks or glammed up looks, which is why this is kind of just like my go-to sort of foundation and base routine, and it could go with any eye look. Like I said, this video was really focused on brows and eyes just because I wanted to share my current like go-to brow and foundation routines. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see any other videos like this coming up, or even like videos for beginners, because I kind of want to get back into that series. So give me some ideas here, guys. Give me some ideas of what you guys want to see, what you guys want to learn more about, because I really like doing these types of tutorials where it's like more in-depth about my routines and techniques and tips. So that is going to be it. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next video.